but to be presented by Professor Fakhruddin Akhunzada, entitled Collaborative Efforts. Yeah, you can join us here, please. Join the panel. In northern Pakistan for revitalizing endangered languages and culture. Yeah.
This is a region 1,000 kilometers, same as England size, and the 10% population of country live in this region. It is a line in the crossroad of Central Asia, Himalaya, and Hindu Kush. This is the region. We work in the middle region, and in the other side, in the western side is Afghanistan, in the eastern side is China and India. In this region, there are more than 30 languages, and the population of these languages are from a few hundred to 100,000. Some of these languages are used as lingua franca in the valleys, in these valleys. And these languages belong to three different language families: Indo-Iranian, Indo-Aryan, Iranian, and one language in the region is independent. It is not related to any family. And the fourth one is Tibeto-Burman. These three families and one independent language are lying in this region. These languages were endangered because there was no revitalization effort in this region. The community was lacking awareness, and government policy was not holistic. These three were the main reasons, but there are some other factors causing endangerment to these languages. And the speakers were shifting to state-sponsored language or some other influential languages. They were giving up their own mother tongue and shifting to these two languages. The organization with whom I am associated was established in 2002. Our work is mainly to train community people in language documentation, preservation, and promotion. Before 2002, some people were working individually, and they were not having proper training, tools, and techniques. They developed their own writing system. They were having some one or another issues. Sometimes linguistic issue, other time computational issue. They were working with those kind of orthography. What we did was we carried out a basic research about the languages in the region. Then we trained people, community members, language speakers in basic language documentation. Then we helped them in developing their orthography. The languages that were having orthography were facing some issue. We helped them in resolving those orthography. And some languages were totally not having orthography. So we helped them in resolving the orthography issues. And then we helped them in producing literature in their mother tongue. This is my paper research. Please go ahead. These are two questions. Yes. Yes. What we did is these collaboration between language community and my organization. What we did, we developed orthography publication. We published the material, and then community-based are going to be motivated the community to organize themselves into organization, mother tongue-based multilingual education, attitude change, policy change and implementation, PC and Android keyboards, translation. I'm coming to detail. Go ahead. These are, the first list, there are 8 languages. These languages were already having some kind of orthography. The orthography developed by individual people without a background of linguistic training and courses. So we help this language community in resolving their orthography issues. The second list, where there are 7 languages, these languages were not having totally orthography. So after the community people attending training from our organization, they develop orthography for their mother tongues. Yes. Additionally, in the orthography, we resolve inconsistency in using characters. Some, for 3 or 4 people are working for his mother tongue. One is using one symbol, another is using other symbol. So there are no consistency among the speaker to use same symbol for one sound. So these were the issue of the spelling. Most of these languages are using Perso-Arabic script. Perso-Arabic script is very more issues than other script regarding the spelling system. So these were the most system. And then what we did, develop rule for borrowing words. Most languages are borrowing words from other languages. So there are no rule. And dialectal differences were another issue, were causing developing orthography. After that, we publish the material the community people develop. Community people are very interested to author some one or other kind of like poetry. They are interested to write their poetry. They are interested to write folk tales of their communities. They are interested to collect proverbs, and there are many other material. They are interested to collect and they publish. They were not having resources to publish their writing, so we publish their material. So so far we have published 67 books in 16 languages of this region. Next, please. These are the table of language, how many books we have published in how many languages. So total 27, 67. 21 is totally one language, mono language books, which is in vernacular. 27 language books we have published. They are multilingual. 1, 2 language. Our second language, national language is Urdu. Most authors are interested to author some material in his mother tongue, then translate some part into Urdu. So these were the list of the books. Community, we learned the lesson that working a community-based organization, a language-based community is more effective than working with some people individually or some groups. So we motivated them to organize themselves in a community-based organization. So they agreed. Out of our target 32 languages, we are working with 21 language communities in this region. Among 15 language community has a well organization, community-based organization. And then some language community were interested to teach their mother tongue to their children in their own school. These are not government school. Government school, in the government school in Pakistan, Urdu and English is used as a medium of instruction in the books. But some community has their own community school, and we help them in developing curriculum. School, we also help them in training school management committee and teaching. We are teacher training. We conducted teacher training for them, and we also printed this school material, children's books for them. Policy, in Pakistan so far there were Urdu is declared a national language in our constitution, and English is used as a colonial remaining of British. Still in our offices in the government organization, English is used. These two languages were using to run the government affairs, and even school their mother tongue is were not using so far. But we run advocacy in government level with policy makers and community leaders, religious leaders, a kind of advocacy. We convince them that the mother tongue should be part of education. We have succeeded in two regions in our target area. One province has included so far 7 languages in school. The other province has just included, but work has not started. The province where 7 languages has included, they have developed book up to the class 7. They started it in 2016. Each year they are developing one book for one class and they are distributing among the students. And so far they have developed up to the 7th grade in 4 languages. 3 languages are remaining behind due to one or other reason, so they have to work another 3 languages in these provinces. Earlier, as I told, only Urdu or English was using in the school. Now, in this region, in one province, 4 mother tongue are part of the schools. Yes, this is I go ahead, please. Another thing we realized, sometimes an organization should study what the community people are facing challenges in their mother tongue. In social media, we saw that many people are writing in their mother tongue, but the computational digital devices were not supporting to them. As you know, each language has its own specific sound, and for the specific sound, the linguists or community people have developed specific character. So Urdu is our mother tongue, so Urdu is not fulfilling the need of the community people because each language has their own additional character and additional sounds. So we realized this and then we asked some computer engineer and they agreed to develop Android keyboards. The community, these are less resource people, only mobile, cell phone, majority people have cell phone. Then we realized that we helped them in resolving their issue, writing their mother tongue through cell phone. That would be helpful, but it was helpful. So we developed Android keyboard for 7 languages, and these are report from the Google Play. Khowar language has been developed 1,000 times, and Shina language has been developed 1,000 plus times. Indus Koistani 500 times. Yadgha is a very highly endangered language. Yadgha is not shifting to new generation. So 10 people has. Gauri has more than 100 plus. Palola has plus 100 plus, and Kati is 50. Kati we have recently. And attitude change is one of the issues everywhere. In Pakistan, being a colonial country, everyone thought that our children should learn English and Urdu, some influential languages. These were the mindset of common people. But now the community, because of education, the changes is happening. Many people are preferring to use their own mother tongue in public, in religious sermon, in many other places. These were our some idea come to our mind, and when Convent hit the country, government banned movement for us, and it also caused for our organization. We decided to develop a documentary regarding awareness of Convent, and so we in 15 languages we developed a 5-minute documentary in the mother tongue of these communities. So here, one of the target communities, it is a Kalasha. The population of these communities is 5,000. It is Google says 5.2 thousand times it has been watched. So even it looks like that some people are watching more than one time. So this is in poetry and music. We are also encouraging to local. In the past, they used to use poetry and music in the second language, in the official language. Now we are encouraging them to compose music and poetry in their own mother tongue. We have also success in these regards. So now the situation in northern Pakistan is much different than it was 20 years back. People are aware of their linguistic rights. They are authoring books and the books some children are learning their mother tongue and they are publishing material. And 2 provinces have included language in their constitution, in the curriculum. So our recommendation is, if any organization is working for the preservation and promotion of the languages, they should first carry out survey. There are always some people in the community who are more interested to work for their languages, like poet, folktale teller, musicians, singer. These people are more interested to work to preserve and promote their mother tongue. These are references. I have to tell you just one lesson you have to take from me, is that language promotion is not the work of only linguists. It is not the work of community people. It is work of multi-stakeholder. You have to involve journalists to tell them that this region has cultural and linguistic diversity. He should know everything about the region. You have to involve policy makers to develop policy for language inclusion. You have to involve community leaders, either they are religious leader or political leader. You need to work with them. And like these, many stakeholders are there to develop and to preserve and promote indigenous languages. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Professor Fakhruddin, for these remarkable efforts that are put forth to preserve and enrich language and cultures in Pakistan. Now, before giving the floor to the audience, I again give the floor to Professor Salim to... Salam. Yeah, Salam. Okay. Without titles, to reflect on the presentation.
No, thank you. No, it's just again, I want to link something to the other. I want to bring back the keynote speakers paper when we're talking about script and talking about Ifina, etc. You've heard what Fakhruddin has said, that the Perso-Arabic script created loads of problems for those languages. And the Arabic script has alphabets have merit according to the languages they use, they serve rather. And the Arabic script is very well known because it's an abjad, as they call it, from abjadiyya in Arabic, which uses only consonants. And many languages do not function with that. This is one of the reasons, beyond all the political things, why, for instance, in Tamazight Tifina was favored also for historical reasons. But a lot of other languages would prefer that. Think of the classic example of Turkish, which used the equivalent of a Perso-Arabic script. And Kemal Atatürk had enough at one point of having, keeping backward scholarship because people had spent 500 years learning the script before adapting it. Because Turkey is a completely different language. It's agglutinative, it's also, anyway, it's not like Arabic, it has consonants. Abjad does not have consonants, and you have to adapt it to things. So forget the ideological thing. Take the tool that serves the purpose best. That's really what I wanted to say. However, as you know, they used to speak the same language, Hindustani basically, and then after partition, India chose to keep the Devanagari script, which came back from Sanskrit, whereas Pakistan, which is a Muslim, acquired the Arabic script from the 11th century from the Persian invasion. That's why they call it Perso-Arabic script. And so it's history, but it's also ideology. So when we're thinking how many languages in Africa were completely without script, and then the successive conferences of UNESCO, for instance, helped adapt the Latin script to the languages, which means every language can be written, and a script like Latin has grown itself and it can be used for other things, but others aren't good. Forget the ideology, think the tool, think the purpose. But just to finish, he's just introduced, he finished very beautifully, I think, in what we were saying earlier. Fakhruddin does not come from an academic background. He's not here as a scholar to present us thing. He comes from a non-profit organization, an institution which is part of the community. As I said earlier, the community is all. And the community is the language speakers, but it's also the journalists, you said, the policy makers, and everybody else. So this is the thing. He's here. We're not here just as an academic conference. When the Foundation for Endangered Languages always tries to include communities, because they're the ones who speak the language, they're the ones who are concerned, and they're the ones sometimes who are responsible for the loss of their own languages, and they have to be reassured that it can happen, the revitalization. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Therefore, from the field, it's walking the talk. More than academizing about things. Now I give the floor to the audience in case they have questions, reflections. First and foremost, Professor Al-Akhawayn, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Fakhruddin, for actually a very inspiring experience you are bringing here. And while following your talk and the picture you were showing us, I noticed wherever you showed photos, no gender, no women. How come? Are women really involved in this experience, or and to what extent are women really also involved in this experience of language maintenance? Because I think that mothers or women have a key role to play in language maintenance or language revitalization or whatever.
Yes, that is a good question. And you know, women, spreading women picture is, you can say, culturally. But nowadays, here are pictures women allow us to use. You can say 3 out of these 30 communities, 3 language women from three communities allow us to use their picture. Otherwise, they don't allow. Even many of our activities are participated by women. So we have even to ask them. If I should ask them, I'm using your picture for my presentation.
But you should have mentioned it, because when we see the presentation, we have the impression, or you give the impression that women are excluded. So you should have said that there are organizations where women are also involved, but of course for cultural reasons, I'm not.
Activities-wise, they are not excluded. Recently, last month we carried out teacher training in mother tongue. 40 were women and 40 were men. So equal representation. So
I was just afraid that women are excluded there.
Data protection. Yeah. Thank you very much. We pass the micro over to the professor here. Yeah.
Thank you, Fakhruddin, for this very interesting, I think, presentation. What your organization does, I think, is really remarkable, because it seems to me that it's not just promoting the endangered languages, but this is also a question of literacy. In some of these mountain areas, people have difficulty into the literacy. And I know that in the case of Tajikistan, for example, in 1930s, in order to eradicate illiteracy, some attempt was made to produce textbooks in mother tongue. Okay, it was they worked for about 10 years. When people become more educated, they are more aware of the opportunities and restraints of which their language sometimes imposes. then when the question comes that, especially for the parents, what utility the language have for them. So I'm just wondering, in your context, do you sense that the work which is carried out, is it primarily to tackle illiteracy, in addition to local languages, the education? The education is also provides in other languages, like in Urdu and English, is also taught along the local languages. Is it the case of the children only get education in their mother tongue until the age of 7 or the class 7, and then they move to Urdu and English?
Yes, according to the educationist, the right approach is that you should start from the mother tongue of the child. The medium of instruction in school should be the mother tongue of the child. But in Pakistan, we are facing the challenges. Being a colonial of British, English is important. Our children should learn English. And then second, Urdu, as Professor told, that Urdu, ideologically, Urdu has been made our national language. So these two are, government has convinced people that these two languages are right languages. So, but nowadays we have just succeeded in making the mother tongue as a subject. They are taught as a subject together with Urdu and English. There is one book from kindergarten to class 7 for the children. So they are learning just a subject, not medium hours. That is quite challenging and it will take time.
Thank you very much. Any more comments to debate the presentation? We declare it closed. We move to the right. So thank you very much indeed, distinguished field worker. Thanks to the academician.